What I try to speak about is the future of communication. But I guess my insight into the future of communication is I think often we look at the future and the technology we have available to us and communication as two separate entities. And I think what's important is that we use all of the social media and digital tools we have to find communities and audiences. But I think it's important that we don't forget that these are still humans and they respond to emotions and storytelling. And I think you've got to marry the technology as a platform and community provider with the storytelling, which gives you an emotional hook to convert people to either buy your brand or fall in love with your brand. So probably the most powerful one I found coming out of Cannes was the Always case study. And the insight on Always is that girls at the age of puberty have a huge loss of confidence, right? So what they did is they did a setup where they said to guys and girls, just run like a girl. And what they did is they obviously flailed, and it was kind of very pejorative. So it was kind of a bit spastic in the way that they conducted themselves. And then they asked girls between the ages of 5 and 7 with the same question that said, run like a girl. And they just ran like themselves. And they said, to run like a girl means to run the fastest and to win the race. And the insight for everybody else, once they played back to them, is that girls after puberty actually seeing like a girl as a negative connotation rather than positive. And what Always are trying to say is actually it's okay to be a girl, be yourself, and you can be a girl and win the race. We often think of digital in marketing as a channel, right? But I think also increasingly product is becoming digital. So if you look at when I say product, I think of I buy books. They're now digital. I actually increasingly have less and less physical books. If you think of music, my music collection now sits on my mobile device. If you look at film, you know, I don't have albums anymore. They all sit digitally on my computer. So all of those products have become digital. But if you look at transport, if I take it out of that context, if you look at Uber, Uber's a digital solution. So the physical deliveries is still physical, so the transport is physical, but every other interface is digital, which comes to the next part, which is what I call price, but money, right? Currency is increasingly digital. So I get into Uber, I get out without ever having to exchange money. And same thing when I buy stuff online. I buy books, I buy music, I have access to 30 million songs, but the money that they extract from me is digital. It kind of gets handed over to Apple every month or any other service provider. So money's become digital. I think place has become digital distribution. So if you look at Amazon, if you look at my bank, I've never been into my bank because it's actually a digital bank. It doesn't actually have a physical presence. If you look at music distribution, and sometimes it's digital marketplace and physical delivery, but a lot of times it's digital marketplace, digital delivery. So places become digital as well. And then obviously we know about kind of digital, both mobile and the internet being promotion being digital. The first bit of advice is ultimately your primary role as a marketer is to first understand who your audience is, and then what are their wants, needs and desires, and what are their triggers. I think the biggest value we deliver to our businesses is actually understanding consumers and what they want, need or desire, and helping the business deliver truthfully against that. So I'd say that's probably the biggest recommendation I'd give. The second one I'd say is understand digital well, understand it as a channel, but marry that with emotion to find the right audiences and engage them in a manner that's appealing to them and that makes them want to do business with you.